This is Julie Kalista, editor of Advanced Materials and Processes magazine. We're here at AeroMat 2012. We're at the ATI booth today, and we have Richard Jeniski, who's going to talk to us today about some of the new titanium alloys from ATI.
Hi, Kalista. Yeah, I'm Rich Jeniski with the market sector team leader for ATI Aerospace. And what I'd like to show you today is some different product examples of ATI 425 alloy, which is our newest titanium alloy that we have at ATI. So here in our little booth here, you can see different examples of different gauges of ATI 425 sheet here on the right. And we've done some bend tests here. ATI 425 is a very formable alloy, and that's where the interest is coming from the industry. We can produce it in very thin gauges, very wide widths. We can bend it to very tight radiuses without getting any cracking. And as a result, it's being looked to replace titanium 6-4 alloy in a variety of applications. And in the middle there, you can see an example of ATI 425 alloy tubing. ATI 425 alloy tubing is being looked at for really high pressure tubing applications, 5,000 psi or possibly greater. Again, mainly going into the airframe market. It's much more formable than 6-4, much easier to work with, and we can make it much more cost effectively than titanium 6-4 alloy. Towards the left, you can see a piece of plate that was actually formed at room temperature. So you can see, again, alloy ATI 425 is very, very bendable. In this case, we were looking at things like armor applications for 425 or any kind of other applications where you normally might use 6-4 plate. And then here on the bottom left here, you can see an example of honeycomb foil. So again, we can make 425 to very thin gauges, in this case 005. And make things like honeycomb out of it. Actually, our customers make things like honeycomb out of it. In this case, it'd be used more for soundproofing or something like that, and in a cell for an aircraft engine. And here in the middle here, we've got an example of a plastically formed part. So we're working with a variety of airframe manufacturers to make 425 into superplastic form parts. The benefits there are 425 has a much lower yield strength, it's much more formable than 6-4, and it can be plastically formed at much lower temperatures, which give much greater die lives than you can get with 6-4. So it's, again, lower cost from an actual raw material perspective, and also lower cost on the manufacturing side. So it's an alloy that we're really excited about. It's really starting to get some traction here in the aircraft industry.
Great, thank you so much for your time, Rich.
All right, thanks for having me.